Hello and welcome to Friday's Masterclass edition of Cracking the Cryptic. This is the episode each week when we do what we originally set up the channel to do. We solve a cryptic crossword from the Times. And today's puzzle is by one of my favourite setters in the world, John Guiver. And the snitch rating, which is the unofficial rating of the difficulty, suggests this is a very hard puzzle. Not monstrously hard, but pretty hard. Let's just have a look at the stats. So the first several there are typists. I think the first real time is Jason James, which is, 8 minutes 30. That's probably 3 minutes slower than Jason's average time. Chloe's been putting in some incredible times. Phenomenal times, and 10 minutes for her is a long time. Let's just have a look further down. Matthew Marcus there, 15 minutes. There would be, I would think, less than 3 puzzles a year that would take Matthew 15 minutes. Let's see if we, with errors, so you can get into the top 100 with 29 errors. That's quite a lot of errors. Wow. So this is obviously. Hang on, my scrolling wheel doesn't work at the moment. It's very annoying. Anyway, this is going to be, I think, a challenge, and I'm looking forward to it immensely. And of course, what we do in these videos is I will try and explain everything I can think of about the clues. So hopefully this will help you with your own cryptic crossword solving. I know some of you are likely to be joining us on the main channel for the first time from the Minute Cryptic videos, so we're able to go into quite a lot more detail, hopefully at least today, when we get to the solving. Now, before we do that, let me just mention a couple of things. Josh, down there in Brighton, it's your birthday today. You're turning 35. Many happy returns, my friend. You've got a lovely day for it. I'm not that far from Brighton myself, so I'm pretty confident that blue sky I'm seeing will also be the blue sky you're seeing. I know it's your birthday because your girlfriend Brogan wrote to me and told me you love cryptic crossword clues, and you often write clues into your friends' birthday cards, which I fully approve of. So, Josh, that's great. And I gather actually chocolate cake is definitely in the offing today. Brogan seemed to know that that's what would be required, and I think she's got that in hand. So, Josh, many happy returns. I hope you have a great day today. And the only other thing I wanted to mention is over on Patreon, we've got lots of extra word-related content. There's extra cryptic crossword solves. There's Mark's connection videos. So if you do the New York Times puzzles every day, Mark records himself solving the connections puzzle from there. Yeah, that's always worth a watch. So check those out. But I think that's everything. Oh, shall we just check? Yeah, the dictionary is showing. My hair is particularly strange today. Well done, hair. Yeah, well, anyway, let's get cracking. And it's this one, isn't it? So let's see what John Guiver's got in store for us. One across is 4 letters. Refuse vessel entry to port, but it could be refuse vessel as well. We have to be careful with pronunciation there. Refuse vessel entry to port after coast beset by snow. Let me just stop. I haven't got a clue what the answer to this is, by the way. But John's genius is that he writes clues that they have a great surface always. Right. So I read this and it's redolent. It throws up a scene to me of a vessel trying to enter a port and being refused access because the coast is beset by snow. It conjures up a scene in your mind, but that's got nothing to do with how we solve these clues. We've got to remember, every single one of the clues contains a straight definition of the answer that we're going to enter. And that definition is almost always at the start or the end of the clue. So this could be a 4-letter word that means refuse or refuse. Deny might be it could be deny. I don't know. A refuse vessel. Like a bin or something, I don't know. Or the other side of the clue, beset by snow or coast beset by snow. I don't think I know any words for a place that's beset by snow. although there's a question mark, so that might mean snow, as in snow is a euphemism, isn't it, for certain types of Class A drugs? I don't know. But anyway, so one side of the clue will be the definition. The rest of the clue is a recipe that will tell you how to mix up letters to create the answer, not necessarily anagram them. It might say put a word inside another word, or it might say reverse a word, but it will be a recipe that gives very specific instructions to allow us to build up the answer from component pieces. Now, of course, with these brilliant constructors, their recipes might be hard to read. They will be disguised. And our job is to try and read them in a grammatical way that makes sense, and always in the Times crossword, and especially in a John Guiver puzzle, that the recipe will be precise. It can't be. I don't mean to be pejorative, but for example, in Minute Cryptic recently, we had the expression Middle Earth. Middle Earth was used to indicate the middle letter of the word Earth. Now, that, I think, is a bridge too far. And let me try and explain why, because in Minute Cryptic videos, I only have, a few seconds to solve the clue and try and explain it. But the middle letter of the word Earth is not what's defined by Middle Earth. Middle Earth would suggest there's 3 Earths there, and I want the middle one, please. Whereas Earth's middle is completely different. That would be the middle of the word Earth. So do you see the difference? They have to be precise. Anyway, I've rabbited on too long. So let me try and understand this cue. Refuse vessel, entry to port. Entry to port suggests to me the letter P, the entry letter to the word port. After coast beset by snow. There's an extraordinary number of words in this clue for a 4-letter answer. I just have not. This is quite a rarity in that I don't know how to read this clue at all. Coast beset by snow. I don't know what that means. Anyway, we'll have to move on. Should we go for... Let's go for 4 across. 10 letters. Tennis games played without Eastern delegation. Okay, well let's go through the rules. We know that there's going to be a definition. Now, could that really be the word tennis, or even tennis games? Can we think of a 10-letter word for tennis or tennis games? Set? Paddle. Paddles. I don't think so. I think it's much more likely this is a 10-letter word for a delegation, or delegation, the act of delegating. In which case, how can we read the rest of it? Tennis games. See, games played could be an anagram of games. The letters of the word games are playing around. They're sort of frolicking, if you like. But that would mean I need to come up with a synonym for tennis as well. Or, okay, games played without Eastern. Eastern can be abbreviated to E. So, maybe I should show you that in the dictionary. I will in a second. But it could also, having been abbreviated to E, games could be... Oh, gosh, no, sorry. Hang on, I've just spotted something. I was so stupid. Right. Okay, the reason I've been slow to this is because I'm moronic, number 1. Number 2, when I see without Eastern, my brain, for some reason, instantly goes to trying to put a word without, i.e. on the outsides of an E. And let me just show you why Eastern can be abbreviated to E. Remember, all abbreviations have to be supported by the dictionary. There we go. Eastern is there. So this Eastern word here is going to be the letter E. And I was trying to put an anagram of games around an E, and I've just realised that no, Simon, tennis games could be playing all of those letters. There are 11 of them. And if those letters play without one of the E's, you would have 10 letters, wouldn't you? So it's just going to be a case of anagramming tennis gams, essentially, to create a word which means delegation. And the answer is going to be a delegation. It feels like it's going to end in ing, doesn't it? Damn. Oh, I don't know. I can't see it. Oh, you silly brain. So we've got some sort of anagram of tennis gams. Delegation. Could end in ness as well. I'm trying to think of good endings. Or magis. No. Isn't it going to be a funny word? Oh, I don't know. Can't see it, but I think that's how it works anyway. Let's have a look at 4 down. 7 letters. Lay gilded china before king. There's so much going on here. There's so many things to think about there. I mean, again, it conjures up a beautiful image, doesn't it? You're sort of you're in the palace and you're laying down the gilded china, looking up at the king for his approval. The way I read the clue at first blush is I think it might be a word that means lay, but then I think a lay can be sort of a song, can't it? A poetic song. And then gilded china. I don't know what that means. China can be a word for a friend, so it could be pal or mate. Before an abbreviation for king, well, that could be K from chess scoring, or it could be R from Latin, the word rex. Both are abbreviations supported by the dictionary. And what does the word gilded mean? I don't know. I don't think that's an easy one to get going with. Do we? Let's have a look at this. I mean, this would be at least give me a lot of letters. 8, 7, 5 down. Thong-like outfit, perhaps. Perhaps can be, well, I think it can be an anagram indicator. I think possibly is preferred as an anagram indicator to perhaps. Thong-like outfit. That is 15 letters, isn't it? Represented, perhaps represented in sumo, etc. Sumo. Wrestling? Japanese? Martial art? No, I don't know what that's talking about. That's impossible. Well, probably not impossible, but possible for me. Oh goodness, this is terrible. I'm going to go. I'm going to really go further astray or further afield. Let's have a look at 21 down. 5 letters. Suit jackets left in pack. Suit jackets. What are those? DJs? Tuxedos? Left in pack. Or suit. If a word jackets another word, could that be a container indicator? I.e., we put the letter L for left in a word that means suit, and we get a 5-letter word which means pack. This is terrible. I haven't actually got an answer yet. I'm almost going to do what I would do if I was solving not on camera, and I'm just going to sort of just try and look at some clues really quickly and just see if I can. I'm going to look at that one. That looks doable. 5 down. So 7 down, 5 letters. Case of eggs outside by morning papers. Okay, I can do this one. So I'm going to do this one. We're going to start with 7 down. So remember, one side of the clue is the straight definition. So make a decision as you're watching the video. If you're new to these puzzles, or even if you're not, try and force yourself to decide which part of the clue is the recipe and which part of the clue is the definition. Now, if you think that the definition here is papers, well done, that's correct. And how does the recipe work? Well, case of eggs. What could that mean if we're thinking about the letters? The case of the word eggs is the E and the S. They are the sort of casing letters for the double G in the middle. They form the skin of the word, if you like. So the case of eggs is ES. Outside, so we have to put E and S outside, on the outskirts of. Now this is difficult now. By. We see this in great setters quite often use by for X, because if you were to say to somebody, what's 12 by 11? They would know instantly that you were trying to say what's 12 times 11. So by and X are synonymous. So we've got EX, in the morning is AM, put the S at the end, and we get exams, which are papers. We get an X in the puzzle as well. Now, John is very keen on a pangram, so we are going to be on alert now, having seen an X for J's, Q's and Z's. The checking letters here are dreadful. Let's try 8 down. 5 letters. Fly round and round in ballroom dance. Yeah, I can do this one. So again, go through the exercise yourself. Try and make up your mind. What do you think the answer? What do you think the definition is? Do you think it's fly? Or fly round? Or dance? Or ballroom dance? If you think it is ballroom dance, you've got it right again. That's correct. And hopefully, if you're thinking, oh, but do I know any 5-letter ballroom dances? You've got a great chance to solve the clue. If you watch Strictly, you've got a great chance to... How many ballroom dances are there 5 letters? There are a few. I suppose waltz, rumba, salsa, tango. And you might then start to think about, okay, well, which one of these would fit the recipe? Now, fly round, what could that mean? It could be an anagram. It could be saying take the letters of fly and move them round. Or it could be think of a word for fly or a fly and turn it round. And the word round is interesting. Let me show you why. If we go to O, not 0, O. If we look at the letter O, it's defined, believe it or not. Here we go. The 15th letter of the modern English alphabet, derived from Greek omicron. Blah, 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 blah. In a series of numbers, naught or nothing, anything round. So when you see the word round in a cryptic crossword clue, it could literally be the letter O. Now go through our ballroom dances again. Which one had an O at the end? Tango. And a gnat, G-N-A-T, is a fly. That turns round. We add it to the O and we get tango. So not too difficult once we understand the principles. Let's look at 12 across. 8 letters, but now we've got an O at the end. So I was thinking espresso, but no, it's not that, is it? It's definitely not. Exaggerated ruggedness of individual waterproof jiffy bags. I mean, just, as somebody who's been doing these puzzles for decades, the sheer panache of writing a clue like that it strikes me. It's almost like a physical blow. It's so I've got to say this, not having a clue what the answer is. But I can feel as I'm reading that how beautifully this has been put together. Exaggerated ruggedness of individual waterproof jiffy bags. Now, I have done this. Right. How have I done this? That's a very good question. I'm not sure. But I looked at the phrase jiffy bags because it's so weird. And I tried to think about, do I know any words for jiffy bags? And unsurprisingly, I thought, no, I don't. And then I thought, if that was part of the wordplay, if the part of the recipe, what could it mean? Well, I know that there are phrases, a jiffy is like a short period of time. Just give me a jiffy. Yeah? So if a short word for a jiffy, as in a short period of time, bagged something, what would it do? It would surround it. It would capture it. And do I know any short synonyms for a unit of time that end in O? Yes. Gimme a mo. Gimme a jiffy. So that made me think of this. And now, exaggerated ruggedness. Well, how about machismo? That would work. Now, I haven't actually worked out why it's this. I just think it is. Exaggerated ruggedness of. So of is doing, I think, the duty of an equal sign then. We're making the word machismo out of individual. Hang on. Individual Mac. Of individual. No, okay. It's just genius. It's absolute genius, but it's very hard to read accurately. Let me explain how it works. Of is not doing the duty of an equal sign here. We need to cut the clue after ruggedness. So we've got a word machismo, which means exaggerated ruggedness. Now we need to think of a three-letter word that means of individual. Now if something is of an individual, it belongs to them, doesn't it? So you might say it's his or it's hers. Well, his is there, look. So of an individual is his, and that has waterproof, which is a Mac, and a jiffy, which is a mo, bagging it. So the bags is applying not just to the word jiffy, it's applying to the waterproof and the jiffy. And this is just a brilliant, brilliant example of how the recipe part of the clue has to be exact. You can't use things like Middle Earth. It just isn't exact. Whereas this is, it's brutal. Don't get me wrong. I am not claiming for a moment this isn't incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult. But once you understand it, you're left in no doubt because the instruction is precise. I need a word that means of an individual, his. A waterproof, well, that's a Mac. A jiffy is a mo. And the Mac and the mo are bagging the word that means of individual. It makes grammatical sense, even though it's crazy. So machismo is the answer, and we get a starting letter for 13 down. Sorry to labour the point, but I think it's perhaps worth doing, especially in a world at the moment where the rules are being interpreted loosely. So 13 down, which is 11 letters beginning with M. One might go to 2 or higher in complex enumeration. The thing about this clue is it makes you think about maths, doesn't it? It probably is mathematics or something. One might go to 2 or higher in complex. Okay, complex enumeration. That feels like an anagram of enumeration, which is 11 letters. So is there a word that we can anagram out of enumeration that could be defined by one might go to 2 or higher? Well, yes. A mountaineer. I can make that word. Now, this is an interesting one because mountaineer does work as well. It fits. Now, why do I think this is interesting? Because if you're reading, if you've understood everything that we've said so far, you might be saying, hang on. A mountaineer is defined by one might go to 2 or higher. No, it's not. You're right. But when we see the number 2 in a clue, it could just mean the number 2, but it could mean the answer to 2, wherever that is here. So I suspect when we solve 2 down, we will get an answer which is a mountain or a hill, or so. It'll be something. So one might go to, a mountain top or something. Let's read 2 down and see if we can get it. High point. That's probably the definition then. So 11 letters. Family. Is it going to be Kilimanjaro? Going round capital, disagree over height. It must be Kilimanjaro, and I have no idea. Kilimanjaro, is that how to spell it? I don't know, but I hope. But this is one of the greatest things for people who are poor at spelling, and I would include myself in this category. Mark, by contrast, I mean, I don't want to, eulogize about him too much, but I will in this instance just let you in on some of the things I've learned about his brain over the years. It is impossible for him to misspell a word. Once he sees a word for the first time, he will never misspell it again. It is an extraordinary ability. He has no empathy whatsoever for people who cannot spell. He does not understand it, because he has never experienced it. And it just makes absolutely no sense to him that somebody would ever misspell a word. But they saw the word. They'd seen the word before. How could they possibly misspell it? And that is how his brain works. So he would never think Kilimanjaro, that's quite a complicated word that I've probably seen a few times written down, but I know it's a complicated series of letters. He would just know how to spell this. So he wouldn't have to spend a moment or two working through the recipe part of the clue to check that we've not misspelt it. I might have misspelt it here. So let's read the recipe. Family. The reason I thought of Kilimanjaro is I thought of kin. Lima is a capital city, Peru, isn't it? So kin is going round, capital, Lima. So we're right so far. Disagree. If you jar with somebody, you disagree with them, don't you? And then over from cricket scoring is O. I know it's mad, but it is true. And I think this one, I couldn't find it in the dictionary recently, could I? Let's just see if it's there now. I mean, I don't know why I think it will have reappeared. Maybe it's just that I think I didn't find it last time, but it is in here. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's still not there. No, but it is accepted. And I believe it's accepted from cricket scoring. So Kilimanjaro. Now let's go back to 13 across and reread it. One might go to Kilimanjaro or higher. So John's disguised the fact it's about mountaineering by using 2 or higher. So it feels like it's to do with, indices in mathematics, but it's not at all. Now we've got a J, so I'm even more sure it's a pangram. Let's try 1 across again. Which has got a K in it now. Oh, skip. A skip is a refuse vessel, a place where you put refuse, as in rubbish. Ah, it's lovely. Ah, it's lovely. Right. It is skip. See if you can see why. And just admire again, it's panache. It's Cyrano de Bergerac. In human, as in real form, this. Why? So our refuse vessel, which John has intended to be read as refuse vessel for the surface, but our refuse vessel is a skip. Entry to port is the letter P, which is where the cursor is here. And that goes after the word ski. Now, if you think about what skiing is, it is coasting beset by snow, isn't it? If you coast over the snow, what you do is you ski. So it's just gorgeous. The question mark there is to say that this is a possible way you could define the word ski. Maybe not the simplest way, but it is a way. Now we could try 3 down. 9 letters, beginning with P. Endless hell, a way of talking about deserts. Endless hell, pandemonium? Away? Hell, what could hell be? Hades? Dis is sometimes used. Let's just show you that, because it comes up enough that it's worth. A name for Pluto, hence the infernal world. Comes up a lot in cryptic crosswords. A way of talking, patois? It's tricky, isn't it, actually? Again, going through my own advice, I'm trying to read the clue. I'm trying to decide which side of the clue is the definition. Now, I don't like the thought that we're looking for a 9-letter word here for an endless hell. I just don't think that there are words that mean that. There could be a 9-letter word which means endless, but it's so much more likely that endless is part of a recipe, isn't it? Because what it seems to be saying is think of a word for hell and take the end off that word. That's a very clear instruction. So that would suggest we are looking for a 9-letter word which means either deserts or about deserts. Or if you could be, it could be deserts, couldn't it? As in, if you're a deserter from the army, you are a renegade. You are a So I think what we're looking for is a word for hell. Could be dis. So let's say it might be di. And a way of talk. Oh, a will be per. Okay, here's an interesting idea. Don't mock me. I've been aware all my life. I'm not a particularly interesting person. But this is interesting to me. Why is that indefinite article in the clue? Let's reread the clue without it being there. Endless hell, way of talking about deserts. How does that differ in meaning from endless hell, a way of talking about deserts? It hardly differs at all in meaning, does it? So why is the a there? It's almost certainly there because it's necessary for the recipe part of the clue. Now that might mean that we need to use it as the letter A somehow in the recipe. But there is a short word that's synonymous with the word A, and that's per, as in per capita, per person, a person, per. So could this be per, a way of talking? With perdition, prediction. I like perdition. I don't really understand it though. A way of talking is diction. Oh, about. Oh no, so it is endless hell. Oh wow. Okay. Perdition is the answer. Right. So we've lucked into this, and I've totally misled you. I said I didn't know any words for endless hell, or I thought endless hell was very likely to be the recipe. It's not. Endless hell is the definition. How does the wordplay work? Per is a, and then diction is a way of talking, but an abbreviation for about has deserted the word diction. And about, if something is about something, it's circa it. Circa is in the Latin. Let's just see. It should be there. It's not going to be like over, I don't think. Circa. There we go. About. So we take C out of diction because it's deserted it, and we get perdition, which we're not on the road to today. Everlasting misery after death, damnation, hell. So what John's done here, he did this deliberately, by the way, because he could have used a definition that didn't seem like it was part of the wordplay. But he's obviously taken the opportunity here to put endless hell in to confuse people like me. Yeah, it's very clever, and it nearly got me, but unfortunately this time I got the answer. And that's actually how many, or most, I would say, of the great cryptic crossword writers approach their puzzles. You know, that they want it to be a struggle that they lose. So John isn't setting this to be unsolvable, but he wants the solver, having solved it, to feel like they've had a bit of a battle on their hands today and they've enjoyed the fight. So 14 across, is this anti? Standing opposite to makes me think it is anti. Yeah. Okay. So having had that thought, especially if you're new, read the clue and decide why you think anti might be or might not be the answer. And if you manage to do it, well done. And there's normally one of these in a Times crossword. Sometimes there can be more, but this is a hidden, i.e. this is a clue in which the answer is actually spelt out in the clue. Now, some people think, oh, okay, so I'll just hunt through all the clues until I find a string of letters that could go into the answer, and I'll do it that way. I think that's how I first, when I was sort of 11 or 12 years old, started to think about these puzzles. But remember, the instructor, yes, that's what you are, John, the constructor, can't just hide the answer in the clue without telling you they've hidden it in. There has to be something in the clue that tells you it's hidden. So how does it work? Standing opposite to is the definition. Anti. Siberian tiger cages. So it's not a man or a woman standing opposite to some Siberian tiger cages. What John is saying is that the letters Siberian tiger, cage, i.e. within them, you can see spelt out A-N-T-I. That phrase, if you like, cages the letters that give you the answer. So cages is telling us it's a hidden, and where to look. Let's try 11 across. 6 letters. Take in AC/DC, appearing in 1 minute live. Take in, I want that to be imbibe. AC/DC. It must be imbibe. Why is it imbibe? Appearing in 1 minute. 1 minute could be the letter I, which is the Roman numeral for the number 1. Minute can be abbreviated to M. If you live, you be. Now, B could be this BE, or it could be this B and this E. So we're looking for AC/DC to be defined either by BI, by, or IB. AC/DC. Don't know. It's not about gender, is it? Is AC/DC a way of describing? I mean, I'm sure the answer is imbibe. Let's just have a look. My dictionary is, AC/DC. Ah, there it is. I didn't know that. So ACDC is a slang word for bisexual. So bi is a word for bisexual. So it's I, M, and then it's this B is the synonym for live, and then that goes around ACDC, bi, imbibe, to take in. And look at that. We had to do a lot of work to get that. And what do we get for it? We get an E in 4 down, which is just about useless. Let's go for 10 across, a somewhat terrifying 10 across, because we're not going to get any more help from more checking letters. So 4 letters. Skate around east end of London's Strand. Now, the east end of the word London is an N. Right. Okay. I've got this one. And again, I mean, if you're new to the puzzles, or it's very difficult to read this clue and not think about, especially if you've been to the Strand, you're thinking about somebody roller skating on the east end of the Strand. That's not going to help you solve this. Let me explain why. So we're looking for a word here that actually has nothing to do with the Strand in London. We're looking for a word that is defined by the word Strand. So Strand is our definition. The east end of London is the east end of the word London. So look at the word London. It's got a west side and it's got an east side. The west side is the letter L. The east side is the letter N. That's this N. And skate around is saying, think of a word for skate and turn it around. That's the hard part, because skate around could be saying, think of a word for skate and put it around the east end of the London, the N. But this N here, if we were having that interpretation, we'd have a word like this. And think of words that mean strand that have double N at the end. Doesn't look great, does it? So, where's my delete key gone? So what we instead need is a word for a skate. Now here it gets tricky, because you have to be able to flip your mind and think not about roller skating, but about fish. And a skate is a type of ray. So if we turn around ray, we get yar. Add it to N, we get yarn. And a yarn is a strand, as in a piece of string. Not easy. Why is that WhatsApp? Yeah, that's fine. WhatsApp buzzing away on my phone. Should we try 9 across? We haven't looked at this. 10 letters. Perhaps attempt to pick up unopened post in large tree houses. Oh. So I've read that in the most appalling way. I haven't done justice to the surface. Let's read it again as John would have intended it to be read by somebody who wasn't trying to parse it. So, perhaps attempt to pick up unopened post by large tree houses. It could be another use of X here for by, couldn't it? Unopened post. What's that going to be? Mail without its beginning? Ale? Perhaps attempt to pick up. Right. I've thought of a word that would fit here. So I'm thinking of an attempt to pick up, not as in to pick up the mail off the ground, but if you try and pick up somebody in a romantic sense, could it be something like to flirt, or flirtation is the word I've thought of? Don't know why it would be that, but let's put that in and see if we can sort of justify it. Perhaps an attempt to pick up would be flirtation, so that's dealt with the definition. Unopened post. By large. It is right. It is right. Okay. If you haven't understood the recipe, pause. Stare at it for a moment or two, because it is understandable. It's not too brutal, and it's instructive, I think. For those of you who managed to do it, congratulations. Agad Maytor style. Right, how does it work? Well, if I tell you that large, if you saw L on a t-shirt label, what would it mean? It would mean you're looking at a large t-shirt. So large can be abbreviated to L in cryptic crosswords. That's this L. That has been housed by a tree. That's what it says, large, which a tree houses. So inside, housed by our tree, we have this L. And the tree is a fir tree, F-I-R. And this is put by, it's next to, station, an unopened post. Well, a post is a station. In a sort of job sense, isn't it? If you're at your station, you're at your post. And that is unopened, so it just gets tation. We put fleur next to it, flirtation, and attempt to pick up. It's just it's brilliantly worded. And we are in the midst of a crossword set by a linguistic genius. And that, I say that as somebody, as I said earlier, who's done a lot of these puzzles. And the thing about a John Guiver puzzle is it's like luminescent. It just shines. The clues just announce themselves to you. It says, here is another slice of genius. There you go. Okay, now this could be panache, 6 down, but it's probably not actually. 7 letters. Worry about pound cake filling. Worry about pound cake filling. Ganache. Couldn't be ganache, could it? It's got ache in it. Worry. Okay, if you nag. Ache. Yeah, that's right. Good grief. So it's not panache, it's ganache. I feel like Sid Waddell there. He's not Adonis, he's the Adonis. No. So why? Why is it ganache? Because ganache is a cake filling, so that's the definition. Worry about. If you worry away at something, it nags at you, doesn't it? So worry and nag are synonymous, and we turn the word nag about. That gives us gan. And then if your head pounds, if you have a headache, it pounds, doesn't it? So to pound is to ache. So ganache works down. Oh, this was our delegation. Something meant. Ensignment? Something like that. Oh, no, because we only have one E to play with. We're taking the E out, aren't we? Is it assignment? A delegation is an assignment. I should have got that straight. I mean, how much harder I made this puzzle by being unable to solve that anagram. That's right, though, isn't it? Yeah, the anagram fodder's there. So a delegation is an assignment. Now we should be... well, I was about to get excited, but actually, we've now got to deal with our gilded china again. So 4 down, but now beginning with A. Lay gilded china before king. I can do it now. So I said I thought it would be lay as in a song. There is another meaning of lay. If you're a lay person, you're an amateur at it as opposed to a professional. So amateur is going to be the answer. Now I haven't done the wordplay yet. Oh, this is lovely. Gilded china. Wow. Okay. So I said earlier that a china is an old word for a friend. So I think I even said mate and pal were possible. Well, you can see mate is in the clue. But this has been gilded, because if you gild something, what do? You surround it in precious metal. And our word mate has been surrounded in precious metal because you can see it's got AU around it, which is the chemical symbol for gold. So in that sense, I might have given this a question mark. Gilded china, to say we're going to put AU, we're going to gild our friend by surrounding our friend with gold. And then that all goes before R, which we've seen can be, I think we looked at this last week, it can be king and queen from the Latin. Rex, there we go, king, Regina, a queen. So that's this R here. Now, can we get 5 down now? Thong-like outfit, perhaps. It's like a it's like a Borat mankini, isn't it? Represented in sumo, etc. I think this is going to be swimming suit or something. Thong-like swimming something? Thong-like slimming? I feel like this phrase, represented in sumo, etc. I'm wondering if that's saying represent the letters of INSUMO ETC. So is it a costume? It must be thong-like outfit, swimming costume. Why? I don't know why it's this. Oh, no, okay. No, right. This is a very good clue, unsurprisingly. Right, and I now understand it. So, let's reread it. Thong-like outfit, perhaps, is a definition of a swimming costume. And that's why the perhaps is there, because not everybody probably wears a thong-like outfit as their swimming costume, but that is the definition. Now the wordplay then, the recipe is represented or represented in sumo, etc. Now, the way that this is supposed to work is that if we think about how we might clue the phrase sumo, etc., how would we write a cryptic clue for that? Well, we might say it's a swimming costume. It's the letters of costume swimming around. So it's sort of like we're writing a clue for sumo, etc. We're representing sumo, etc. as a swimming costume, and that gives us the answer to the clue. It's clever, isn't it? Now we should be able to get this one. Rendezvous would fit. That would give us a Z as well. I bet you it's rendezvous. Initially surveyed dozens in preparation for meeting. Again, the surface is so good. Initially survey dozens in preparation for meeting. It makes total sense. How does it work now? Cryptically, a meeting is a rendezvous. How does it work from a recipe perspective? Oh, hang on, I read that as initially. No, it's not, it's internally. Okay, that's fine, it's fine. Internally, the word survey is URVE. URVE. Dozens is the rest of this word. So we've got an anagram of URVE and dozens. They are being prepared to create prepared in the kitchen. We're preparing them, we're mixing them all together to create our rendezvous. And now we've got a Z, we've got an X, we've got a J. We have not had a Q, have we? So that's going to be the key. Right. Let's go for 16 down. 4-5. Police department clamps off-road vehicle. Again, it doesn't even read like a cryptic clue. It just is a sentence that makes total sense. Vice squad. It must be that. It's got a Q in it as well. Quad. Yeah, vice squad is the answer. How does it work? It's beautiful. So police department is a vice squad. Clamps are vices, as in tools that clamp things. And an off-road vehicle is a quad, as in a quad bike. So vices, quad. Put it together, say it differently, vice squad. Now let's try 20. 4 letters. Fetching earth to go on crop. Yeah. Okay. The tricky part of this one is going to be to have the C and the T in the grid. That's going to be tricky. But if you have the C and the T, you need to know something about the word earth. Now, the word earth can be abbreviated to E. It's a bit of a weird one. I presume it's from plugs, is it? Is it from electricity? Earth. But earth, E, can go on a word for crop. If you crop something, you cut it, don't you? And that gives us cute. And if you're cute, you're fetching. So we've got the top sort of done now. Let's try this one. We've never looked at it. 10 across. A tenor's behind short hum in charming hymn. Oh, I've got a horrible feeling this is going to be one of those strange religious words. I don't know. Okay, here's how I'm reading it. Tenor, I know, can be abbreviated to T. So, is this AT behind, so after, a short word for hum to give a charming hymn? I don't know what that word might be, but I have it in the back of my head that there are not weird, I don't mean that to be in a pejorative sense, there are just difficult, like unusual words for hymns in church that end with cat or equivalent letters. I don't think I'm going to get that without more checking letters. Trying to decide, should we try and deal with this one? So it doesn't hang over us like the sword of Damocles. So four letters, D blank, R blank. Motorway staff. Going round, place where many crash. That's brilliant. Motorway staff going round, place where many crash. Have you got it? It's doable, this one, especially with the D and the R. Motorway. If you're not sure about whether a word can be abbreviated, think about your real, your life experience. If you're travelling on a motorway, would you refer to it as a motorway? Or if you're going up the M6, you'd know you were on the motorway, wouldn't you? You might not be moving very fast, but you would know you were on the motorway. So M, obviously, is an abbreviation for motorway. A word for a staff. A staff is a rod. Turn that round. The M and the rod turn round, we get a dorm. And that's a place where many crash, not in the sense of car crashes, but if you go to sleep, if you crash, place where many crash would be in a dorm, as in a dormitory. So at least that one was gettable. Should we try 23? 6 letters. Craft is able to make controlled descent. I don't know what this is, but I quite want it to be an anagram of is able. Abseil. Yeah, that's right. That's lovely. Again, craft is able to make controlled descent. It's a brilliant use of grammar. So a controlled descent is an abseil. And if we craft the letters of is able, so we sort of sculpt them into a new form, craft can be an anagram indicator. So it looks like it's a noun there, doesn't it? Craft. as in a ship is able, but it's not. It's being used as a verb. Now, okay, cracking checking letter there. Should we go for 21? We've never looked at this. 8 letters. Ice Age. Left trace of chili fronts. Ice Age left trace of chili fronts. Ice Age. I really hope I don't have to know, like Jurassic. There's loads of weird words for various eras or eons of the Earth's history. Ice Age left trace of chili fronts. I don't know. I'm trying to take my own advice. Do we think this is an 8-letter word for ice? Ice can be a euphemism for, what hitmen do, don't they? They ice people. They kill them. Ice can also be some Class A drugs, I think. Left can be L or port. Trace of I think the only part of the clue I think I understand is the phrase trace of chili. I think that's a trace of the word chili. Just the merest hint of it would be the first letter, the C. I think that is a C. Most likely it's a word that means fronts, though, isn't it? That is a plural. So if this is a word fronts, if you front something, what do you do? Or front as a noun, like a visage or a trace of chili. I don't know. No idea what that is. Should we go for 18 down? No checking letters. 7. 7 letters long. Asians inside borders at large plant. Asians inside borders at large plant. Oh. I mean, the way I read it is I have to take the inside of the word Asian, which is SIAN, and that's going to border a word that means at large. If you're at large, if you're a convict and you're at large, you're out, aren't you? You're out of prison. You're free. So if I could think of a word, if this was a word, Sushin, for a plant, that would make total sense, but I don't think that is a word. I'm not totally sure it isn't a word. I just don't recognise it. If it was a word, this would be an I. 10 letters, 25 across. Piano parts refined by small cast. Cast. Piano parts refined by small cast. I don't know what that means. I think, my best guess would be piano can be abbreviated to P from musical scores. So we're going to be putting a P that's going to part a word for refined. Cut, maybe? You cut something, do you refine it? No, I don't like that very much. Some word for refined. That's going to go by small, could be S probably here. But as in what you'd see, if you saw S on a t-shirt label, you'd know it meant small. And then we got a word then, a 10-letter word for cast with a question mark. So who knows what that sense me it cast. Don't know. I just don't know what that is. Let's try 19 down. 7 letters. Public transport. Tram. Staff. Save old stamp. Oh. Staff. Save old. Stamp. I mean, we just saw the word. What was it that we indicated? Rod down here. Oh, that was staff as well. So if staff here was rod, save old. Save can mean without, can't it? I.e., ignoring. So old can be abbreviated to O. So staff save old could just be RD. The word rod without the O. And in which case, that would be RD, and this would be a word like placard. Public transport. And the whole thing would be a stamp. Or to stamp. I feel like I know that. Public transport. Blank, blank, a, blank, blank. Probably ending in a vowel. Probably ending in an E. I don't know. No, I don't know. Might not be right. So let's try this one. 10 across. First person in family handles drug from South America. First person in family handles drug from South America. I don't know. I mean, my first thought here is that this is going to be a word like Venezuelan or something, just because it would, I think it's not Venezuelan, but a word like that for somebody from South America. If you're from South America, you could be Venezuelan. Or Chilean, or, I mean, obviously, Argent, no. Well, how does that, okay, if I don't see how that works, so let's try and look at the rest of it. First person in family. Person in family, that's so weird. First person in family. Is that like a patriarch or a matriarch? Handles drug. Handles are names. Yeah. Handle, if you give something a handle, you title it, don't you? It could be title or it could be names. But look, you're thinking about that. That would allow me, because a drug is the drug E, or could be the drug E, ecstasy. So what is this? Namese. Keep thinking of Vietnamese, which is obviously not right. Unless my geography has really gone to pot. South America. Why can't I get this? Why am I such an absolute plum sometimes? My idea for RD there has totally gone up in smoke, hasn't it? This would have an A at the end. Oh, that destroys my idea about that one as well. Asians inside. Borders at large. Plant. I really like the idea of this ending in Namese. I just do. First person in family. And what was this one? We looked at this one, didn't we? Suit jackets left in pack. Tarot. That's a pack of cards, isn't it? But no, it's not that. Suit jackets left in pack. Don't know what that is. A pack is a deck of cards. I haven't looked at some of these. I've got to look at all of them. 4 letters. Get rid of powerless press. Get rid of powerless. Here's an interesting thought here. Powerless. In Minute Cryptic land, that would very much, I think, be able to say, take the letter P out of a word. I'm not so sure that would be allowed in the Times. Because this is a very interesting, I've done it again, a very interesting sort of semantic point. Is it the same to say, take power out of a word, as to say powerless word? Does powerless mean the same as remove P from a word? I don't think it does. Get rid of powerless. Press, purge. Yeah, so it is. It is. That's very interesting. That'd be interesting. So if you get rid of something, you purge it from somewhere, don't you? And that's powerless. Now, why? If we look at P, it can be abbreviated to power there from physics. So if a word is powerless, obviously it's acceptable here for it to be remove the P from something. I think that's quite an interesting question. I haven't really got a problem with it because I think it's very clear. But I'm certain that in the past I've been hauled up over the coals for doing something like that. So I'm not sure. And obviously if you urge somebody to do them, you press them to do it. Let's have a look at 22. This could be lager because I've seen beer in the clue. Hang around. Dropping in. For a lovely. Only gettable, really, if you've not. I mean, it's very difficult. Hang around, dropping in for a beer. It's again just a perfect surface, and the answer is lager. See if you can see why. It's great. Is it Surinamese? First. Person in family. Oh, I don't know. Sorry. So this one, let's go back to this one. I can't do that when I'm recording. I can't just go off into other clues and go off into my own world. Ah, Simon. Right, so why is this lager? Let's read the recipe. Because again, John is not going to just throw in this indefinite article. Let's read the clue without that indefinite article. Hang around, dropping in for beer. Means almost the same, doesn't it, as hang around, dropping in for a beer. Why is the A there? It's there because it's necessary for our recipe. Because the way this works is we have to think of a 6-letter word for hang around. And if you hang around, you linger. And that word, linger, drops the in, dropping in, for a. So the A replaces the in the word linger, and that gives us lager, which is the answer. First person. In family. Handles. This was an S. Suit jackets left in pack. Tuxes. No, it's not that though, is it? Suit jackets left. Suit could be cubs or something, but it's clubs is what I was thinking of. In pack. What is this then? So we've got an L in this one, which we didn't have before. Voltages? Ice? Age? Left? Trace of chili? Front? What? Okay. I don't know. I just thought of volcanoes there. It's not. I don't think that's right, though. I'm wondering whether this is a C. Age? Left. Trace of chili. Fronts. I don't know. I can't see how this works. Ice. I'm so sorry. I don't understand this one. Okay, let's try it differently then. So let's try it as trace of chili front. So trace of the word chili is C, and that's going to front this whole answer. So let's say it means ice. So age left. Cold. Ice. Coldness. Ice. Could it be coldness? Sorry about this. Age. Is the age you've got left your oldness? I don't know. If it was, age left, the oldness. If that was a meaning for oldness, the age you had left, then trace of chili C fronting oldness gives coldness, which is ice, isn't it? He showed me a lot of coldness. He showed me a lot of ice. Ice, yeah, ice in that sense. If you've got an ice-like demeanour, I think you have a coldness about you. That feels good. I think that's probably right. Now that one... Oh, so the suit. The suit is clubs. Jackets. Hang on, how does that work though? So if the suit, as in a playing suit, was clubs, how does jackets left in pack give clubs? as well as from a recipe perspective? Jackets. Jackets left in pack. Suit. I keep thinking about cubs and trying. Do you get in a pack? In a pack of lions, you might get cubs. But I don't understand. I still don't understand how I'm meant to read this so it makes grammatical sense. Jackets. Left. Jackets left in pack. Suit jackets. This person in Suri. I mean, this does look like Surinamese, doesn't it? First person in family. Why is that SURI? I don't know. First person in family. Sur one. Why is this clubs? Do you get a pack of cubs? Left in cubs? Suit jackets, clubs. No, don't. I just think that's rubbish. Absolute nonsense. It's suit jackets left in pack. I'm sorry. I know I'm not making it. It's because I'm just trying to understand this for you, rather than just guess it. And I suspect also I'm missing something very clever about how this works, and that I don't want to do the clues a disservice by not understanding them. Jacket, suit. I mean, if I was racing, I would have got long gone. Now I would have just thrown this in and moved swiftly on. Suit jackets left in pack. I don't know. I don't know. There's something going on there that's really clever. I just can't read it correctly. It's infuriating. And I don't understand Surinamese either. First person in family. Unless there's a word Suri that I don't know. Handles names. Drug E. From South America. Surinamese. I think I'm just getting tired and stupid. That's never a good thing. First person in family. Well, and also then we'd have to get this one. What on earth is this? Asians inside borders at large. Plant. That's still not, I mean, still, even with this and this, which are predicated on, which really I've only got both of these from the definitions. I've now got this, this and this, which I've looked at before. I haven't looked at this one since it's not had RD at the end of it. Public transport. Bus. Tram. Stamp. Trample. Staff. Staff now. So staff is not rod. This time it's pole without the O. And that gives us trample. Okay, so that's good. We've got another one. Oh, and we've got a P in this one, which is what we were expecting. So piano parts refined by small cast. Where's my phone? Okay, I can't look at that at the moment. Piano parts refined. If you're refined, what are you? You're sort of genteel. You're suave. Suave. Cast. I don't know what this is either. Piano parts refined by small. If you're refined by something, you are okay. I don't know what this is, but I could think if it was refined by in the past tense, then at least I'm getting closer to this being a word that means cast. Sculptured. Cultured. That's right. Right. Good. Oh. Okay, so I finally got this one. So how does it work? So our piano, our P, is parting a word that means refined by, which is refined, cultured, and that's put by this S for small. And the whole thing means cast, as in sculptured, what you might do to a piece of marble. So is this freesia then? That's a plant. What? Yes. Okay, it is. If you're at large, you're free. And then Asians inside is the inside letters of the word Asian, S-I-A. It's just the borders here. Borders makes me want to think of the inside of the word Asian is bordering something else. So it's on both sides of it. Whereas actually here it's just acting as a border for the word that means at large, free. So, okay, again, I've been misled there. But we have Magnificat is what this is going to be. Magnificat. Magnificat. Now, I don't know why yet. Short. Nif. In charming magic. Yes, I've got it. It's Magnificat. So the way this works is a tenor is AT. That goes behind, so after. A word, if something hums, it pongs, it niffs, N-I-F-F. But that word is shortened to N-I-F. And that's put in a word that means charming, magic. So we get Magnificat, which I'm confident enough to look up, is some sort of hymn, I think. The Magnificat. There we go. The Song of the Virgin Mary, beginning in the Vulgate with this word. A song of praise or thanksgiving. A paean. never sure how to say that. Peon. Right, so the points at which we're unsure are clubs and Surinames, but I think we've justified the rest of it. Suit jackets left in pack. Yeah, okay. I think the way this works is like this. We are going to jacket an abbreviation for left, which is L. If you jacket something, I presume jacket, I mean, it can be a noun, but to jacket might be able to be a verb. So we're going to jacket, surround, put a coat on, L, with a word that means pack. And I think you can get a pack of cubs. I think pack can be sort of a collective name for a group of young. Pack of squirrels, pack of lions. And that would explain why we've got clubs here. And then this one, Suri. Unless I've spelt something wrong. First person in family. I mean, this is what I go for. So I'm going to submit it. And if it's wrong, it's right. That's just where the cursor was, isn't it? That is right. How do I actually check? I think that's just where the cursor was. Oh, have I just moved this so it's invisible? I have moved it into slightly the wrong place, which is unforgivable. Oh no, hang on. No, it looks like something. No, it looks like the puzzle's slightly in the... it's something to do with this. It's to do with this scrolling thing again, isn't it? So if I move it there, I need to move the screen very probably there. It's still not ideal, actually. Sorry about this. There. That is now pretty good. But I don't understand this, so shall we look up Suri just to see if it is a word? No. What was it? First person in family. I don't understand that. I'm afraid. So I will rely on the comments to explain this further. But this video is already getting quite lengthy. But let's just say what a magnificent puzzle that is. Just incredibly clever. Incredibly clever. Every clue is sort of a miniature masterpiece. And the grid fill is ridiculous. Look at these letters that have been squeezed in. I'm pretty sure it must be a pangram. I mean, it's got K's in it, it's got F's in it, as well as all the difficult ones. It'd be a high-scoring game of Scrabble, wouldn't it? So, John, magnificent again. I will try and have a quick go when I'll race at the quick cryptic. And we'll see how we go with this. This is by Chico. Composer from New Harlem is Mahler. Starts to A, B, in a foreign abroad, probably. Dull head of theology cut gospel. Don't know. Let's try and use the starting. Several Roman numerals, saint copies, mix, probably. Feels right. Bahrain lot worried about toilet in light craft, hot air balloon. Che Echidna. Son brought by legal security. Basil Bale. Find cover note somehow cocky over confident. Stores discontinued, having no heart to make a comeback. Oh, I don't know. Let's try these then. Dull, Matt, head of theology, cut, gospel. No. Clean seats returned around back of stage. Seats, I want that to be pews, but I'm not sure. Pound, child, kid, criminal harm that primarily involves old British ICI, criminal, illicit. Gloomy, small, unnaturally pale bird. Black, one. Element extracted from half of carver. That's calcium, I suppose. Spear, second fish. Sling, pike, spike. Smutty pair of ducks kept in pen. Sooty. Section of Arctic or Scottish mountain. That is it Corbett? I'm not sure. Friends divided by extremely naive juries. Panels. Fool shortened her dress. Clot. Okay. Stores discontinued, having no heart. To make a comeback. I don't know what that is. Oh, what's this? Drink, Whiskey Mac. Wastrel, I would think. Let's go for that. Acts up. Nettle. Idyll, without really looking at it. So, clean seats returned around the back of stage. Sweep. Deputy. Stores. Depots. Okay. So, pretty terrible, but correct. 9th out of 203. Not absolutely terrible. But you can see I am terrible because, you know, Matthew Marcus has beaten me by a minute. I mean, I've only taken 3 minutes and I've lost by a minute. I'm 50% slower. It's just a terrible, terrible thing. Chloe's beaten me by all but a minute. Mark only beat me by 19 seconds, so that's not absolutely awful. But yeah, there we go. Oh, and there we go. We get an orange cursor there, and that was definitely correct. So that does say that Surinamese was correct. I just don't understand the Suri part of it. So yes, I'm sorry about that. I did my best, and I hope it's been helpful to your own cryptic solving. Do let me know in the comments how you're getting on. We do enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And if you are still with us to the end of the video, please do join the community. Please subscribe. Please like the videos. It really helps with the algorithm. We'd be most grateful. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.